Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Dana Buckler Show. My name is Dana, and I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Bill Searcy. How are you, Bill?
What's up? I'm good.
Oh, listen, excellent. I'm doing good as well.
Thanks.
We're doing the video.
Nice hat.
Hey, thank you. You did this.
I know. I love it.
I love this hat.
Somebody, I had it on last show, and somebody, I don't even remember where I was, asked me about it.
See?
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. And we're loving this video thing. This is really happening.
I just don't even know where to look.
Studio's starting to come together. All right. Admittedly, feeling a little bit better.
Yeah.
It was a little rough last week. I don't know what was going on.
You're sharp as a tack today.
Feeling good.
Yes.
Feeling good. Bill, I want to talk about a movie. I want to get right down to brass tacks. I want to talk about a movie.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk about Kathryn Bigelow's A House of Dynamite. Now, it's been out for a few weeks. We're going to get into a spoiler discussion of this particular movie, so I'm going to urge everybody, go on Netflix. It's on there. It's easy to find. Watch it. We're going to talk about some major spoilers.
Top 5 or whatever. Yeah.
Absolutely. Before I ask you your thoughts on the movie, what is your history sort of with what's your history with sort of like what I'll call like the nuclear hysteria movies? Like,
Sure.
Are you too young to remember movies like The Day After, Threads, all these movies that came out in the 80s that kind of showed you what nuclear holocaust would look like?
Yeah. I didn't see those. I'm a big war games guy.
Sure.
Right.
That's a good example.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's kind of what's happening, right? So
absolutely.
Yeah, nothing to the extent of like extreme military or country kind of meltdown, nuclear war. No, I didn't get into that, but war games kind of got me kind of warmed up to this, at least the concept of it.
The opening scene of War Games, where you've got Michael Madsen and you got the 2 Minutemen guys going
very
down
similar to the beginning of this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. You just basically see them, they just, what's cool about it, I'm sorry, I shouldn't use the name cool. Shouldn't use the word cool.
But interesting.
But what's interesting about that scene is how those 2 guys, they show up to work, their coworkers are razzing them because they're a little bit late, and it's just a very mundane job for them. It's just a very by the numbers.
Yeah, they're going through a checklist. Yeah. They're going through their playbook. Just like in this movie, the guy's eating Doritos and his Doritos are getting crumbled on the table. Yeah. Very similar thing, right?
And he's catching a lot of shit for the Doritos, and then all of a sudden the alarm goes off. Yep. And it's like, holy shit, we've got a launch order.
Right.
And
authenticating codes and all that stuff.
And it's like, holy. And then the movie, I mean, we're talking about war games here, and it just, got Michael Madsen firing holding a gun at the other guy and saying like, turn your key. And that would have been the end of the world right there.
Right. So anyway, that's my extent.
Sure.
Yeah.
What did you think of A House of Dynamite?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's just so well done. I love it. I mean, my overall take is that, it kind of has like 3 sequences and all these things, and you see all these viewpoints. So I love that. I buy into the first sequence the most. I think maybe because of the actors I'm connected to more.
Well, let's talk about what those sequences are. Yeah. Those vignettes, if you will. So the movie essentially, like you said, is told 3 different times from essentially 3 different points of view. But it is about a single ICBM nuclear-tipped warhead heading to the United States. And it's kind of how different branches of the government are, going to handle this situation.
Right, and each phase, the 3, each one of those has about 10 or 12 viewpoints in it, which I think is cool too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're seeing it from all angles, and then you get like just small pieces from maybe the first vignette that is a major contributor in one of the second or third one. Like you barely hear the president in the first part, but then he's a major part of the third part.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like, I like that a lot. And it's just well done. And the characters, I just bought into, I guess, the first phase more than the other 2.
And it's really fascinating how in the first couple of minutes, like there's a launch and people are sitting on the board and nobody's panicking in the beginning. everybody's like, oh, this is probably just a missile that's gonna,
or a test.
It's a test. Could be a satellite launch.
Or
Everybody
we just
relax.
saw it. It's a flock of birds. We've seen this before.
Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, and sometimes they they don't even detonate. They just because they can't, you just can't believe it's real. Like even the people that are trained this much, they can't be real.
These things happen all the time. You know, North Korea launches missiles all the time. They land in the Sea of Japan.
But the movie is very serious. I love audio, in like music or just kind of the theme, and the noise or music that they use really gets your attention that this is serious from the very beginning. I don't know like what the technical term is for just the noise or what you hear.
Score,
the score. You just hear it. Like to me, that ties me in. So like they do that obviously on purpose, but you could tell it's serious from the get-go, right? I like that.
I read a book that came out. I want to say it came out last year. I lose track of time, Bill. I really do. Sometimes I'll talk about a movie that came out a year ago.
Oh yeah, what time is it right now?
Yeah, I'll talk about a movie that came out like a year ago, and it really came out 6 years ago. Like I read a book called Nuclear War Scenario.
When?
At least last year.
Oh, okay.
It's been at least a year. I've read the book 3 times, and it's very similar to this movie in the sense of it starts with a single warhead being fired at the United States. The big difference between the book and this movie is in the book, it's coming from North Korea. So they know exactly where it's coming from.
Right. And in
the movie,
they didn't know the origin. It missed it.
Yeah. And
the radar missed it.
And that's the really crazy thing about this movie, because in the book, there is a playbook for how to respond to, a single nuclear weapon being fired.
Know who shot it at you.
So there is going to be a retaliation.
That's why in this movie, I'm like, what?
In the book,
who are we going to fire at everyone?
Things go south quickly because the missile is heading for Washington, D.C.
They
try to shoot it down with the interceptors. This is in the book.
Sorry.
They try to shoot it down with interceptors.
Okay.
They miss. And do you know why they miss? And it's not touched on in this movie. But inside, like the bus, like the main part of the warhead, or excuse me, the ICBM, the warhead deploys, but also like 15 decoys deploy at the same time. And these decoys are described as being about 1 foot wide and looking like, remember the game Jacks? Like like it bounced the ball and try to pick up the Jacks. They look like that.
Okay.
And so those get deployed at the same time to throw off interceptors. So like that's not touched on in the movie, but most of these missiles have decoys. It's pretty wild.
In this one, they sent up 2.
Yes.
We have about 50. They saved a lot of them because they weren't sure if we needed more of them or if it was real.
Yeah, because they say in this movie, well, why don't we shoot any more at
it? The one guy asked.
Because there could be more missiles coming.
Yeah, I know. That's scary too. So, and then one of the 2 just never worked properly anyway.
Yeah, it just doesn't even deploy at all, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what's interesting is, so in the book, I just want to set this up because I'm gonna pose this question to you when it comes to the movie. Okay. So in the book, Nuclear War Scenario by Annie Jacobson, what happens is you got like 25 minutes before the missile hits Washington, D.C. So they're scrambling to get the president out of the White House. They put him on Marine One, the helicopter, with some Secret Service guys, and they're literally looking for parachutes because they know chances are they're going to have to parachute out of Marine One, because as soon as that multi-megaton weapon goes off in in Washington, D.C., it's going to create an EMP that's going to wipe out any electronics. So they're going to have to literally skydive from Marine One. So they got to get up as high as possible. So anyway, I don't want to spoil the book, but I'm going to a little bit. The missile hits D.C., destroys D.C. The president tandem jumps out of a helicopter with a Secret Service guy.
Yeah.
And the other guy that jumps out is the guy who has the briefcase, the nuclear football.
Like the little Navy guy in this one.
So he actually parachutes out, tandem jumps with another Secret Service guy, and they land somewhere in the forest of Maryland. Nobody can find the president. Nobody nobody knows how to get in touch with the president. Nobody knows who's in charge. But the president had ordered a response against North Korea. It's like 80 missiles. But those missiles are going to fly over Russia, all right? And the Russian government, not being able to get in touch with the president, and that's the only person they'll talk to, makes the decision that, well, I think the United States is attacking us, so we're going to retaliate and launch
nuclear war.
Now launch 1,000 missiles at the United States, and the United States has no choice but to respond to that, and the world ends in the book.
Sweet.
But it's done in such detail that it does it minute by minute by minute. Now,
okay. Did you do audio as well, or
I did the audio book on it as well. Is
it a good listen?
It's a great listen.
That's more
scary.
My style.
You know what though? It's scary.
It is scary.
It will give you anxiety. I have about a 45-minute drive to work each day, and so I was just kind of knocking it out. But I'm telling you right now, like,
that's a lot of stress for me. I don't need to.
But it's fascinating, and she kind of goes over the history of how we got here and things like that. But the book doesn't end on a happy ending. Now, the main problem or the main question in A House of Dynamite is here's the different scenarios that they're working with. The U.S. government doesn't know who fired the ICBM. They have to respond, but who do you respond against if you don't know who fired it?
Right.
Okay.
I agree. I don't know if I would respond, though. That's part of my problem here. So who are you going to shoot at?
But that's the thing, okay? So if you absorb the nuclear weapon and let it hit Chicago, kills 10 million people.
It's going to happen. It did.
Okay.
Or it's going to, or whatever.
But if you don't do anything, what message does that send?
I think you still have to figure, like, I don't know why it has to be immediately. Why can't we respond the next day or later? Like, that's why I don't know why you don't have to respond immediately.
I'm not disagreeing with you. These are the questions that are posed by the movie. So you have some people in the president's administration saying, Mr. President, we have to do a wait and see approach. But because a nuclear weapon is heading towards the United States, other nuclear powers around the world are ramping up their...
Right, and they could just all attack U.S.
Because they're waiting to see what the United States does.
Like, you don't know if they're going to attack us or that. Like, you don't know. It's very vague in this.
So you have some people in the administration telling the president, wait.
That's me.
If it's going to cost the lives of 10 million people, but it's going to prevent the end of the world, is that a big enough sacrifice? All right. And then you have other people saying, we have an opportunity to launch now against all of our enemies.
Everyone.
And let's call it a decapitation strike. But that's
crazy.
But that's impossible.
But somebody wanted to do that, I think, in this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But even the guy, so in the movie, the military aide, this is the guy that carries the satchel that has all the different codes and
strategies or plans, whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but he's like 20 years old, though. He's a kid.
So he's basically telling the president, sir, you have to make a decision. And the president says, I need your help.
Yeah, he's asking him.
I've never been briefed on this. Like, I had a 10-minute briefing when I first got sworn in. What do you recommend? And you see the mill aide bring out the most extreme response. He goes, we've got rare, medium, well done.
Right, it goes right to well done.
He goes right to well done. And it's basically nuking everything.
Yeah.
And that represents the end of the world. So what do you do, Bill? What do you do? You're the president.
Well,
you've got a missile coming now.
I get it. Yeah.
Okay. 10 million people are going to die. You cannot prevent that.
Right. So I get that. Right. Chicago's getting blown up.
Gone.
Well, we're on the phone with Russia in the movie. I'm assuming I'm in this movie.
Yeah.
Or I'm the president or whatever. We're at least talking to Russia. Let's find out who they're talking to. Like, I'm not going to just shoot and pick Korea or Russia or China or whatever. I'm not doing that.
The Russians are saying, we didn't do this.
Right, I know. So you already got one...
We didn't do this.
Pseudo ally in this situation already, right? Like, I'm not firing back. Like, I wouldn't.
But
who do you fire at?
So if you don't fire back, maybe the country that fired at you will fire another one.
Well, then I hope that our defense, like, we're going to try to, like, blow that down. Listen, I get it.
So this movie asks impossible questions.
Yeah, no. And then the other thing I do, like, or that I think is very well done, is the personal side of things, where everyone's grabbing their phones or they're calling people. You know, it's very touching and very sad when, you know, some people know, like the one guy I think called Chicago.
Yeah, the secretary. So you got this again. Spoilers for this movie, everybody.
Yeah, he calls his mom. I love you, Mom.
Well, the secretary. Oh, no, that's the guy in Alaska.
Yeah. He's like, everything's fine, Mom. Everything's fine. I love you.
You have the Secretary of State. Excuse me, the Secretary of Defense. Okay, who by the time we get to the third vignette, you learn that his wife has just recently passed away. He's on the golf course. He gets a phone call, a condolence call.
And his daughter hates him.
His daughter's not happy.
No, she's not happy, yeah.
And then he finds out the missile's heading to Chicago.
To hit where his daughter's at,
where his daughter is. Yeah. And he's literally asking his secretary, get a helicopter out there, get her out.
He tried, like...
We've got to have a base close by.
But he finally realizes it's not going to get her.
Not going to get anywhere. And so he calls his daughter, and his daughter's seeing somebody new, and he's happy about that. Right. And then just major spoiler for the movie, which I was like, holy shit. They get the Secretary of Defense on the roof. They're going to
helicopter him out of there, right?
Helicopter to Raven Rock, which is the nuclear bunker in Maryland. He just walks off the damn roof.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. But what I think's, you know, interesting, I guess the word is interesting today instead of cool, is that in the first section, you kind of hear some guy go, "Whoa!" You
don't know what happened,
right? Yeah, because they're on this like conference call or Teams call or whatever, and there's like 8 people on the call, and you hear this one guy just trail off, like yeah, and then once you see him go, you're like, "Oh shit!" You know, an hour ago I heard that in the section 1 or 2 or whatever, and that was him. You know, so that I kind of liked all that stuff.
One of the major contentions with this movie, and by the way, I want to add,
it's got a great ending, by the way.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that ending real quick, because one of the major things that I love a movie that creates what I call a call to action. Okay, makes you want to learn more about, you know, the subject matter. That's the power of cinema. So I start looking for interviews with people involved in the production of the movie. Who wrote this? You know, Noah Oppenheim wrote this, and he was a news correspondent, and you know, they screened this movie for tons of people that used to work in those positions.
What's the feedback there?
The feedback was shocking how accurate the depiction was.
Good.
There were a couple of things they said wouldn't happen. They said the people that work in, you know, Stratcom, the people that work in the situation room, they are screened psychologically on levels that you just wouldn't even begin to comprehend, because you have to.
You
have to be able to do your job.
You have to be able to handle the worst case scenario.
So there's a scene where our main protagonist in the first vignette, she tells her
Ferguson.
Yeah, Rebecca
oh my God.
Ferguson. She's lovely too. Lovely.
I love her so much. She's one of my favorite actors.
Dr. Sleep. Have you ever seen Dr. Sleep?
No.
The sequel to The Shining. You've never seen the sequel to The Shining?
No.
It's actually really good. It's actually really good.
The Shining has burned a part of my brain that's so like...
You need to watch the sequel to The Shining. It's Ewan McGregor. Rebecca Ferguson plays the villain.
Ooh.
I don't want to get off subject.
All right, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
But if you find the movie...
I love her.
I think on our app, the version is the director's cut, which is 2.5 hours long. It's really good.
Okay.
Really good movie.
I love the show.
That being said, there's a scene in House of Dynamite where Rebecca Ferguson tells, you know, her number 2 person, go get my phone.
Yeah, get the phones. Get 2 phones.
So the people that saw the movie are like, that would never happen.
Oh, well, they were locked up though. They are locked up outside the room.
Yeah.
And to defend it, chaos is happening now. Yeah. Like today's not a normal day anymore. So they've already pulled out like 3 people that are on the safe list. So it's not a normal day.
There's a scene where they tell them to write their names and social security numbers down. We just send the list off because we need to know who
was here that died.
Who was here that died?
If it blows, we blow up. Yeah. It's pretty rough. But they said no way, phone, no what, no matter what. They said
the at least in the situation room, the idea that somebody would break protocol and bring a phone into the situation room, which are not allowed to do.
So it's capable, though. It can happen.
It could happen. But then the counter argument to that, of course, like you just said, Bill, is, well, no one knows how anyone's going to act when you know the world's about to end.
Yep.
So I agree with you.
I'm defending that.
Again, I'm not disagreeing with you on this. I'm just talking about
right, I know. And the humanizing thing, that's why I buy somebody like me, that's why I buy into this.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because of the human side of thing. And the little dinosaur thing she put, I look at all that stuff. So yeah, she's a mom. When you boil it down, even though she's probably one of the best people in that role in the whole world, she's still a mom.
Absolutely. I'm telling you,
and a wife.
I've watched this movie in its entirety 3 times.
Okay, all right. I'm 1.5 now.
But I want to tell you, we got to talk about the endings. And again, spoilers.
Spoiler for sure.
Each of these 3 vignettes ends right as the missile is about to hit Chicago.
Yeah.
You see the count. There's a forever present countdown clock in each one of these vignettes. And I think when you're watching the film, you're naturally, you don't see what happens at the end of the first vignette. You go back, start the story over again from different people's points of view. By the time you get to the third vignette, it's involving the president. And
right.
I think you're naturally going to say to yourself, well, we're going to know what happens now. It's all coming down to he has to make the decision. But it doesn't end that way.
No.
It ends it has what we call an ambiguous ending. It doesn't tell you what he decided.
No, there's that show on Apple TV I watched where they're in the bunker already, Paradise, that we've referenced on the show. But all society's already in the bunker. So this is almost like potentially what happens prior to any bunker scenario.
It's really fascinating.
It is.
I'm telling you, the first time I watched the movie and it went to black, I went, oh no, don't do it. Don't do it. And then all of a sudden, directed by Kathryn Bigelow came up on the screen. And I was like, oh, come on.
I was like, psh. Now, I've told a million people to watch this, but I've also told them, don't be pissed off at me when you're done. And they're all mad at me.
What's the general consensus?
Just ending. There's no end. There's no end.
That's what I
don't want, to run my imagination. I want to see an end. I want to see something.
A good buddy of mine said the same thing. I messaged him right after I saw it. And I said, you need to watch this movie. It's on Netflix. No excuse. It's 2 hours long. You need to watch it. And I said, listen, it's Kathryn Bigelow. The Hurt Locker, Zero Dark 30,
phenomenal.
Point Break,
amazing.
Near Dark. I mean, these are legendary films. So it's good pedigree behind it. And he messaged me the next day, and he goes, "Really like the movie. Fucking hated the ending."
Okay, I hate the ending. I can't say it any other way.
So here's what I want to tell you for those of you out there that are having an issue with the ending. The second time I watched the movie, I was really paying close attention to the ending. And there is a scene where you have people that are being loaded onto buses, being moved into the Raven Rock
the tunnel
bunker,
into the bunker.
The bunker system that's in North Carolina or Maryland, somewhere in Maryland. And if you listen closely, you can hear the warning sirens going off in the background. And to me, that is my interpretation that the decision had been made. Like these are the.
You mean that we're firing back?
That either they're firing back or there's incoming to Washington.
Like there's another one coming.
There possibly, but my interpretation was we fired back, and we went with the most extreme one. That's not set in stone. That is not,
Yeah, but I don't mind a movie that I have to use my imagination.
Yeah.
But when you go into this much detail and how so well done it's made, and that the cast you have that many people that I'm like just in awe of, and then you end it like that, it's like, that's why it just falls off a cliff. I don't need my imagination to finish this movie. Right. I want to see an ending because it's so good.
Right.
That's what's frustrating.
Well, interesting.
But I said this earlier. I know you hate sequels, and sequels are the worst thing to some stuff. But I would love to see them do this whole thing again in the same exact way, but next.
Okay.
Minute 1 or, minute plus 1 or whatever.
Before we wrap this portion of the video up, I'll ask you this right now. Is this a recommend for you?
Yeah, and I'll say it now. Yeah, highly 100% recommend. Just don't be pissed off at me when you're done.
Okay.
Yeah, great movie.
The movie is I almost said Nuclear War Scenario. I recommend everybody get that book.
That too.
It's excellent. The movie is A House of Dynamite. It's available on Netflix right now. It's directed by Kathryn Bigelow. It is going to upset you no matter what, because the scenarios, the questions they pose, everything, there's no clear cut answer. There's no, that's the correct way to do it. There's no winners in this situation. And it's frustrating, and the ending does not wrap it up in a nice, neat bow like typical Hollywood movies.
Which is fine. Which is totally fine. It's just so well done. I just wish there was just a little bit more they gave us at the end.
All right. Perfect. Well, Bill, we're going to talk soon, my friend. This was our review of House of Dynamite.
See you soon.
All right.